We have Zackary Canepari here with us, a filmmaker from the States who has decided to do a film about chess. Now, tell us, what's your film, or a documentary about?
Well, it's a new film. Can't say too much about it, but I think it's hard not to be talking about chess right now. I mean, there's been a lot of big controversy in chess, but also it's at the the center of, I think, of a lot of big stories. Technology, there's this big cheating scandal, obviously, but also the competition is very high. I mean, these guys are playing at the highest level possible, and it's just very exciting.
Obviously, chess isn't something that's very often on television or in the news, but you coming from that industry, how does it feel to you to be here among chess players? What have you learned, discovered that you didn't expect?
Two things. One is that we wouldn't be here if there hadn't been this big controversy over cheating, right? But at the same time, there's this whole world, very nuanced, very symbolic. Every move has a meaning. Every story has history and all these things. So I think there's just a lot of richness. What I've been surprised by is just the scale of the event, right? This is a huge arena. There's hundreds of tables, hundreds of players that are from all over the world, and they're just playing on this super high level. And I won't lie, it's pretty cool to see Magnus in person. I mean, he's just he's a real star, and there's some other really great players that I've been researching and following online, and they're all here, and so that part's pretty just fun as a fan.
Do you play chess yourself?
Yeah, but I mean, I couldn't tell you 3 openings. I can tell you the names of 2 openings, but not 3 openings.
Oh, yeah, that's 2 more than I would know.
Yeah, it's not much.
No, I'm in a similar position. No, but let me ask you, as a filmmaker, in the chess community, there's often this debate about the way chess is presented on television, and obviously in movies and in series. Obviously, The Queen's Gambit has been praised to be the best depiction of chess so far. Very precise with the games and everything. So, as someone on the other side, coming from the other side, so to speak, from the film side, how difficult is it to make chess interesting for TV?
I mean, it's not the matches that makes it difficult. I think it's the level of density and the language that the description. I think the average person doesn't know what Queen E5 is and things like I don't even know if I said that right, to be honest with you. So I think there's some real distance between just the way that it's described and what's experienced. But we're at the Blitz tournament. These guys are playing 3-minute rounds. It's fast. It could be really fun. So it's really close. I just think there's a language challenge in the way that it's described that makes it hard for an audience just to come in and start watching and enjoying.
And what's your experience been with chess players so far? Obviously, you've researched a lot of them. You've met them in person. You seem to be a fan of some of them. So obviously, sometimes it's a disappointment when a fan meets their hero. But how does it work out for you when you met them in person?
Well, I think I have a role here to play, trying to make a film, so it's a little bit tricky. But you really see how some of them are clearly stars in their own worlds, right? They are big characters in their worlds, and that I think is pretty interesting to just, you can feel it. You can just sense it. Chess players are very focused, right? They are in a game all the time, that they are just heads down. So I think that in some senses it makes it harder to be social. And so therefore it's just harder to approach them and just have a conversation, especially as not a chess player. I think in a way, if you can talk chess with them, they can talk all day. But I don't know, I find it very exciting to just be around a few of them that just are clearly so above normal level of just a human civilian. They're really stars in this world.
Has all of this, which you've seen and experienced here, made it harder for you to realize that it's going to be harder to make the documentary you're trying to make, or easier?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's a hard story to tell, because I don't think the average person knows a lot about this world. And we have to be inside of it in order to tell it. And so in order to get inside of this world, we just have to be more present. And I think that that's the challenge, right? It's just more time, it's more energy. It's getting these guys, we're on day 4 of the tournament. They're getting more and more comfortable with us being close to them with big cameras, right? Stuff like that is starting to evolve. That's great, but it's almost over, and then we're gonna have to do it all over again and all over again and all over again. So I just think it will take time. But it's there. There's a great story here. I mean, there's some real history, some real great characters. I think if everybody wanted to participate in the film, I think we can make something really special and really introduce new audiences to this high level of this sport.
And just finally, to ask you about the behavior of the players themselves towards the media, as someone coming from the media side, what would your advice be to players in terms of their presentation or public appearance? Or
well, that's a good question. That's a good question. I think there's a moment, chess is having a moment right now, I think, and it may not be for the reasons that everybody wants it to be, but at the same time, I don't think it's to be wasted. And
you need to ride the wave.
I think there's there's something to be, I don't think all press is good press, but I don't think all press is bad press either. And I think there's an opportunity here to ride a wave and kind of get this sport to even a bigger audience than where it's at right now, make it more open and accessible to, people that might just be like, wow, these guys are really cool. They're really doing important, they're playing a really hard game. They're playing on the highest level, and like watching them do that over and over and over again is something really unique. So, just be open-minded to the project and hope for the best.
Zach, thank you so much, and we hope your project goes well. It's really been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.